Welcome to Elite Leadership Conference. Let's get ready to prepare ourselves to learn. We shall never be the same again. This is Elite Mentoring Program, feeding current generation with information. Greetings to all viewers of Elite Mentoring Program. I am Nedzana PM. On our conference of today, I would like all people to connect wherever they are, so that we may proceed with what we supposed to be doing. Don't forget that last week I failed to bring the message on our conference. Today it will be part 3. It's supposed to be part 4 or session 4, but because of some other disturbances, I failed to come up with the teachings of the day. You know that when it is Saturday evening, always on time, we have a conference here at Elite Mentoring Program, where we are proceeding with the assignment of equipping the saints, equipping each and everyone who is part and parcel of the very same things which we are purposefully gathered to do. So today I have got a unique subject of discussion, and some other people would take it as it is one of the messages which I brought on the daily teachings, more especially on episode 20. I have touched some of the areas of this teaching, but I think it is very much good for me to get into detail about these matters in conjunction with that one which I have taught on episode 19, talking about the power of integrity. So there is a deeper connection between self-discovery and the power of integrity. So the combination of the two will lead us up to the point of understanding the significance of these two. So don't forget that on episode 19 I said that integrity means the matching of your words and action, and there are 5 ways you can show integrity, where I said by means of expressing gratitude to some other people, where beyond it you do not have to look at material things, you do not have to look at the academic status of the very same particular person or particular group. And number 2, I said that is about communicating honesty and transparency. So where beyond it, I said that if it means to call a spade, 2 wrongs can never be right. And number 3, I said it is all about taking responsibility for your action, no matter where you are, no matter what. And I said that number 4 is all about to help the needy. Taken a quote from the book of Proverbs, chapter number 28, verse 27. Number 5, I said that demonstrate reliability and trustworthy. So it was the subject which I taught about on episode 19. Talking about the power of integrity. But here now I just want to mix both things with the subject of self-discovery. Don't forget that when we read on the book of Psalm 139, I just want you to open the book of Psalm where you are, 139 verse 23. There is important matter here which I just want us to focus at, and out of it we are going to learn a lot. Here we are hearing psalmist David saying, "Search me, God, and know my heart." I just want you to underline the word know, or underline know my heart, because here I'm using NIV, New International Version. I hope and believe that wherever you are, you might be having an alternative version compared to the one which I'm having. But it does not matter how it is written, but if you find the one which talks about the mind, you have to underline it. And this one which I'm having, it is talking about the heart. You have to underline it, because some other versions says mind, some other versions says heart. So it means, but according to me, heart is bigger than, let me say it the same, because a heart or a mind, we are not talking about, when we talk about a heart, we are not talking about the physical organ which is found within our bodies. No, I'm talking about, or the Bible is talking about the mind. Don't forget that the mind of a human being is divided into three. We've got what we call a conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. So these are the three divisions of mind. And if you are always following me on some of my episodes, you might have learned about the very same kind of things. So I don't see it necessary for me to go back and talk more about how does it differ and how does it function. But I think it is very much important for you to understand that when the Bible is talking about a heart, some other versions talks about the mind, but it comes to one thing, because a heart and a mind is the same thing, but all together they are below the soul, because soul contains the heart within. A soul is divided by three. We've got emotions, we've got mind or heart, and we've got a will. So that's what we find within, including the emotions. That's what we find within the soul. But within the mind is that which I have described already. So when King David is saying that, "Search me, God, and know my heart," test me, you see. So every time God supposed to test everything, you have to be tested in order to be trusted. So when he's saying that, test me, to be tested means to be exposed before the challenges of life. You must be a person who's supposed to be exposed to various challenges of life, which at one of my book which I wrote called Things and Time, I said that time, that we've got two types of time, and things will never come unless otherwise we are subjected to some challenges. So in other words, when Psalmist David saying, "Test me," in other words, this is a positive statement that conveys the meaning of saying that I am ready to be submitted at any life challenge. That is the reason when it goes further, it says, and no more anxious thoughts. Anxious thoughts means an active thought. And don't forget that each and every thought starts as an idea. So as each and every thought started as an idea, when we talk about an anxious thought, we are talking about an awareness thought, something that you are aware of. So when it continues, it says, there, see if there is any offensive. I want you to underline offensive way in me. So offensive way in me, each and everything related to offensiveness, it has got something to do with sin. So anything which is under the control of sinful nature, it means that sin itself is like a kingdom. When it enters within your life, it absolutely takes control over each and everything that you happen to do as an individual. So that is the reason when King David saying that search, see if there is any. In other words, there is a possibility for you to be found living on earth, but without knowing on what kind of thing troubling you is either something good or bad. So as I said, that you should have to underline offensive way in me. So the very same statement lead us to what we call 4 types of rediscovering who you are. So number 1, there is what we call a known self or an open self. Where do we find this? We find this here where King David said that, see if there is any offensive way in me. So in other words, the very same statement once again can lead on making us to be aware of something which we do not know. So this is an open self. So okay, well, what do we understand about an open self? Or before I explain more about an open self or about known self, as it is written on Psalm 139 verse 23 to 24, it is the very much important topic to discuss, because it also contains much significance of rediscovering true self, which contains a purpose of why you are a subject of individual who is brought to life, because God cannot let you come here in life without any purpose you are here to fulfill. I as an individual, there is a purpose I'm here to fulfill. You as an individual, there is a purpose you are there expected to fulfill. So this is what you're supposed to know as a person. So okay, well, what do we understand about a known self? Let me try to express something here so that we can get something out of it. I hope you can be able to go with me on the book of Romans. Let us open the book of Romans. I just want you to underline, it is not for the first time to teach about the book of Romans. It has been long I teaching with the very same book, but I think it is important for you to get to know something here. When we read on chapter 7, I want you to start reading from verse 15. It says, I do not understand what I do. You see, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. This is an Apostle Paul raising this statement to the Romans. And if I do what I do, is verse 16, not want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is no longer I myself who do it. You see, so if you can read on the Psalm 139 verse 24, where it says, see if there is any offensive way in me, and you compare it with Romans 15 verse 17 as it is no longer I myself who do it, but it is sin living in me. Once sin begin to live in you, for it shall make you to do things which you can even lose control over it as a person. So, how does these things get connected with the power of integrity? How does it connect with the power of integrity? So, don't forget that integrity, it is the matching of your words and action. And when we talk about a known self, it's when you have discovered on who you are as an individual. So ever since you have discovered who you are, in other words, you must be a person who have already identified the following areas, which I will get down on it now. Number one is what we call experience. Experience you have been through. As an individual, there is no person who does not have an experience. And the experience you have helps you to avoid future problems. So, okay, when you are having an experience, it means that it can also help you to avoid what? Future problems. So, how does it match with integrity? Integrity in alliance or in conjunction with experience. In other words, what you know that it was bad, which you did before, through the practice of integrity, it means that when you are living, you will make sure that what I have done before, it means that I will no longer do it if it is bad. And you make what we call, you practice loyalty to yourself. Because loyalty means to stand by, to defend yourself at whatsoever kind of trial. And you support an agreement which you have taken a decision to support. So you can also exercise loyalty even to some other people, as it means to stand by someone in good times and in bad times. Once more, to defend them in trials and support them when they need help. So that is the practice of loyalty. So in other words, you can also reciprocally practice it on yourself. So as we are proceeding with the very same subject of today, experience is the mirror to remind you on what had happened at the past and avoiding the very same kind of effects or preventing the very same kind of things to happen in the nearest future. So that's what you're supposed to do as an individual. That is the reason I'm saying that there is a deeper connectivity with the subject of today, there is a deeper combination of episode 19 and episode 20 of the daily teachings, as I am combining the very same kind of teachings in this conference which we are having today in this wonderful Saturday. So number 2, as I'm going down with some ways or some points under known self, is that which we call knowledge. Knowledge helps you to identify problems and solutions. So this is what you should have to know as an individual. So we obtain knowledge by hearing, we obtain knowledge by watching, we obtain knowledge by reading. So it means that whatever you read, whatever you watch, whatever you hear, play a major role on increasing knowledge. So knowledge goes together with wisdom. In other words, the practice of knowledge is that which we call wisdom. So once you You practice what you have learned. We call it wisdom. And wisdom, in other words, it helps you to identify problems. How to identify these problems? Problems which you have acquired during the process of experience. And out of the very same kind of things, therefore, you bring up solutions. And solutions can come up to you in many ways. So that is the reason we are learning this kind of things, hoping the fact that you are following wherever you are. So solutions, as I said, that will come in many ways. So when you read on Proverbs chapter number 12 verse 16, it says, fools show their annoyance at once, but prudent. Oh no. It's verse. Let us read the verse 15. It says, the way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to an advice. I want you to underline the B part of the verse. But the wise listen to an advice. So people will advise you, and when they advise you, that's where you will be obtaining solution. So number 3 is all about body image. Body image helps you to know how to protect and manage your body, which we call it health maintenance. You must know what to drink, what not to drink, what suits your body according to your blood type. So I am not a dietitian, but those who have gone through the very same kind of studies, they will help you when it comes to that subject. So as we are proceeding, so it is good for you to know the very same kind of things. So let me say it's number 4. It's all about family interaction, on how are you related with family, friends, peers, and whoever. So this will help you as an individual. So I'm trying to help you outside there. So you must make sure that you build a constant relationship with your family, with your friends, because in times of need you will also need these people. A man is not an island. You have to be with some other people. So okay, well, how does the very same kind of thing, starting from knowledge, body image, and family interaction, related to what we call integrity? So integrity, you build the integrity by means of reading, by means of watching, as I've said, by means of listening to some productive messages which will boost you at each and every time. And the very same kind of things, it is going to provide information on how to boost your health. And once more, family interaction, it is therefore going to help you in order to build what we call trustworthy or faithfulness. What is that? Means to honor, fidelity, or unchanging in nature. There is a difference between faithfulness and loyalty. Loyalty, I have already given you the definition of it, but what about faithfulness? Faithfulness is about to honor, fidelity, or unchanging in nature. It is not the same as integrity, because faithfulness is when you agree with a person. For an example, you can say that let us meet tomorrow by 2 o'clock, and you happen to be faithful on the very same kind of an agreement that you have agreed with the next person. But integrity, but whereas what you are going to be agreed on will not be the same with what you will be acting. In other words, after when you have met with the very same kind of person, you may sit down and discuss matters, but you find it out that you agree things which you are not meaning. So that is the symbol to show that you have been faithful for what you have been agreed upon, but you are agreeing on what you are discussing on the table, whereas deeply within your heart you are objecting everything. So you have been faithful, or the very same kind of person whom you are sitting together will identify you as a man or a person who is faithful, whereas deeply within you, you know that you are objecting whatever you are discussing on that scenario. So that is the reason faithfulness and loyalty, both of them, they cannot match with integrity, but integrity can cause faithfulness and loyalty into play. So what about number 5 is the source of income. Source of income, we get the source of income. Some of us, we obtain the source of income by means of doing business. Some of us, we wake up and go at any workplace where we are hired in order to put food on the table at the end of the day. So it does not matter, but how is this connected with the power of integrity? In other words, as you know that you wake up and go at your workplace, make sure that you know on what are you working for. You know, we does have a lot of people who are controlled by the offensive part of nature, which David said on Psalm 139 verse 24. So there is a lot of offensiveness which are currently distracting people or taking people off track or making people to do what is undesirable or things which takes them off their absolute vision which they supposed to fulfill in the land of the living. So that's what I am trying to say. So you must know what you are working for. You must have a plan. You must develop the vision as an individual. You must know on what you are working for. Unless otherwise, you will encounter a very serious problem. I hope and believe that you are following wherever you are. So, one other thing is all about a relationship. Point number 6 is about relationship. You must identify areas of weakness and provide aid and improvement at all sections of weakness. Not that when you encounter a challenge at your relationship, therefore you decide to jump or to leap from one partner to another. That will never even ever solve a problem. Instead, it will worsen the problem. So it is. I'm not saying that people must not divorce. You can divorce if the situation forces you to do the same. But but the better way is to find positive ways on how can you sit down and try to solve the problems. So that is the reason I am trying by all means to help you as people outside. I understand that there is no smooth relationship. Don't ever allow to be bribed by the social media, because people on the social media can portray fake features, whereas deeply within their hearts there is a lot of difficulties which they might be going through. So this is what you're supposed to know as an individual. So as we are proceeding, you must identify areas of weakness on what kind of things that causes a problem in your relationship. Therefore, after when you have discovered the very same kind of things, therefore you fix the problem either. So as we are proceeding, I just want you to check on how does the same get connected with integrity. So it is connected in this sense. If you know that you hate something in the relationship, you must not practice the very same kind of things to your partner. You do unto others what you want others do unto you. This is what you're supposed to know as an individual. So by means of expressing gratitude to your partner, as much as your partner on the other hand will reciprocally do the same unto you. And you must have to communicate honesty and be transparent. You do not have to apply what we call the hidden agenda. So if you do things like that, you will have a problem. And you must be responsible enough. As a man, you must be responsible in the family. As a woman, you must be responsible as a family. So both of you as a husband and wife, when you are in the relationship, you must maintain a constant relationship that will never break, but be separated by death, as some of us have made those vows during our weddings. So as I am proceeding, you must be trustworthy, as I said, as I gave you the definition of trustworthy before. So this is what you must do on what I was trying to say. So don't forget that on episode 19 and episode 20, I have, let me say only on episode 20, I have taken you through all those 4 types of self-discovery, but because of time, let me stop here. Let me not proceed with what we call unknown self, because known self compared to the power of integrity, I have already taught you on how does it correlate. But let us meet on the next conference, where we shall be taking unknown self compared to the power of integrity, on how does the two correlate up until when we meet next time. I love you people. Have a wonderful Saturday up until when we meet on the 4th session of our online conference, I think.